All right, so if you've been following along so far, we put together our initial pages. We put together the login pages, the phone verification, the main page showing all the restaurants available, as well as a little menu page to let you order or add items to your order. We're ready to move on to our order pages, and as well as our profile, payment, and order history. And one thing I do want to note is that I believe I missed the location page as well while we were putting together the artboards. So I am going to go ahead and just move this over a little bit and go ahead and duplicate this page. And then I'm going to go ahead and title it location. So essentially this is the page where you can get to set your address. If you remember, if I just open up our wireframes, here we go, that's our wireframes opened up. So yeah, this location page where you get to set your address for where the delivery should go to. And so we'll design this in this page, location page over here. And one more thing while I'm here, I'm just gonna make sure that everything here with my artboards is spaced out properly. I think that looks good. There we go. Perfect. So yeah, we're ready to move on to designing these pages. But before we do that, we were supposed to design a logo for Healthy Bites. Now, if you remember, as we went through the brief, one of the key deliverables is the logo for the company as well. So we're going to do that together in this lecture. Now, for the logo, I want to keep it simple. I want to keep it something relevant to the name, which is usually what you want to do in a logo. So I'm going to come right over here, just outside of my artboard, and zoom in, just to make a logo over here before I take it to throughout my design. So what I want to do for Healthy Bites is to essentially have a little maybe H letter and maybe some kind of bite marks taken out of that H letter to kind of represent the name. I think that might look good. And so I want to do that with the help of our line tool and a bunch of ellipses. So feel free to follow along if you want to also create a version of the logo yourself. But the final version of this logo will also be included in the resources for this project. So you can simply use that if you'd like. Perfect. So for our logo, let's go ahead and create an H by using the line tool. So we want one line over here, and I'm just using Shift to keep it straight. Now for the border size, let's go with 20. I'm going to go ahead and round the caps over here too. And then I'm going to use Alt to just duplicate this side of the H to over here. And then I'm going to use Command D to duplicate that one more time. And then go ahead and rotate it using this little node. So it's straight this way. And we're going to just put that somewhere in the middle of this. Perfect. Select it all together. Let's give it a border size of actually 25. And let's change the border color to our green color. I'm going to go ahead and actually group these lines together using Command G or Control G on Windows. And then I'm going to go ahead and just zoom into this side of the H. And I'm going to create some ellipses using E. I'm going to represent this kind of a bite mark like this. Now I'm going to go ahead and just group these ellipses together, move them down a little bit. So make sure your ellipses are in a group, your H shape is in a group. And actually I'm going to make this a little bit bigger as well, so it takes up more space here. Just make this a little bit bigger. I think that looks good. There we go. So because this H is created of these three lines, we need to actually use the outline stroke so that we turn this into more of a shape. And we can do that by going to Object, Path, if you remember, Outline Stroke. And so now the strokes here are kind of turned into shapes, so we can actually go ahead and use our Boolean tools to kind of create that bite mark out of that H. And we can do that by first making sure that these are all grouped together as I have over here, and select them both together and do Object, Path, Subtract. I think that looks good. Again, if you want to make changes to your shape, you can always go in here and rearrange the circles to make it look more symmetrical, or really do as you please. I think that looks good. I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate this group and bring this group also down here on this other side of the H as well. And I think that looks good. Again, feel free to tweak your circles if you're not fully satisfied with what you have. Perfect. So there we have it. That's our little logo for this project. I'm going to go ahead and save it as a resource as well that you can use. And in the next lecture, let's come back and place this logo throughout our design.